All right, guys, it's the last week of the season. We are back doing our normal podcast. We didn't do a normal one. You guys saw me. I had my cell phone from me doing a YouTube short to make our picks last week for week 17. It was the holidays. I was away on vacation. Adam had a ton of things to do himself. But we're back doing our normal podcast, week 18. Now, I know what you're saying. These games are hard to predict because a lot of teams are taking off, and we know that. But there's a lot of, the playoffs are set, but there's seeding that still needs to be that hasn't been done yet. The Eagles still get the second seed. The Rams are still fighting for a better seed. So there's seeding everywhere. Divisions are not won. The Jaguars, if they lose and Texans win, Texans can win the division. So there is seeding that still needs to happen. The Broncos, if they win, they get the first seed. They lose, then the Patriots win, they get the first seed. So there's still a lot to be happening. I know they're crappy teams they're playing, but you never know. There could be some surprises here because some players might be getting rested. I know your Packers are going to start some guy never heard of at quarterback, but they need the rest, I think, and get healthy before. And they're locked in the 7th seed. And my Eagles, I hope they get that second seed because it's going to matter come playoff time. But let's get it started. I'm rumbling and rambling. We're going to be trying to make a quick one here, guys. Still the holidays. We got things to do. We had a happy new year and a great holiday in general. Whatever you did, I hope you had a blast. So let's get right to it. Big game, Adam. I surprised these games are on Saturday. I thought they'd leave them from Sunday because if we're going to start with the Panthers and the Buccaneers. Now, the Panthers and Buccaneers, let's just get it. Buccaneers are favored by 3 points, and the over-under is 43.5. If the Buccaneers win, they got to wait 24 hours to wait to see if the Saints could beat the Falcons, because the Falcons beat the Saints, they win the division if the Tampa Bay beat the Panthers. So there's going to be 24 hours like the hell. It'd been pretty cool if they set them on the same day, but you know how scheduling goes. I don't know how they don't know how it's going to lay out towards the end of the season. But let's start that first big game. The battle of the NFC South, one of the worst divisions in all of football. Let's start with the Panthers. They're coming off a loss to the Seahawks, but if anybody watched that game, you were like, okay, they could beat the Seahawks maybe. Like even though the final score was 27-10, and you're thinking, oh yeah, but going into the second half, it was 3-3. So the Panthers were in there the whole game. So it wasn't like, it was a blowout like Seahawks blow out a lot of people. And then the doors came off. The put 24 points up in the second half to Seahawks, and the Panthers couldn't keep up. But that's the thing with the Panthers. It's crazy, Adam. They win one, lose one, win one, lose one. So they're on the same track. They won one 2 weeks ago. They lost this one. So if history repeats itself, they should win this game because they're doing the opposite game here. So that's kind of nuts. As always with the Panthers, and I'll let Adam jump in here. They're so inconsistent. You do not know what you're getting from Bryce Young on a daily basis. You do not know if the running game, which has been a little dying off just a bit. Rico and Chuba Hubbard are not getting those 100-yard games, and so you never know where you're getting this offense, and that's why this makes this game so hard to bet. Because what Panthers team are you going to get? Are you going to get the Panthers team that who have great wins against the Rams, against the Packers, or you're going to get the team that lost to the Saints, who lost to the Patriots, by the Cardinals? You never know what you're getting. Adam, I mean, we've always said Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde with this team. I mean, how do you feel about the Panthers? Or do you think, do you think they're worthy of winning the division title?
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it has been super up and down. I like what they did this year. I think, like I said, it's a terrible division. So sure, they're worthy to be, king of the losers. But I also like to think that, this is a playoff game, basically. And when teams are this up and down, you do see a new version of teams kind of come out when playoff times come. So maybe they can string together some games, or at least play solid at the end of the year here. And they did beat the Buccaneers 2 weeks ago. They did. I believe good old Baker Mayfield threw a pick in that game to really to seal that win for them. Yeah. So I hear you, and it's like the Panthers, they're going the right direction. They're improvement from last year. The head coach looking like he has some grasp on this team. Some right draft picks are looking good. Bryce Young is looking like maybe he needs a longer time to become a good quarterback, and maybe he'll eventually get there. But I think he's progressively getting better, so that's good for the whole franchise. But in general, in this game, they might begin their starting guard back. Hunt, he is questionable from the IR, so that's a good plus for them.
Their starting tight end is out this game, Sanders, which, like I said, that does hurt because outside their wide receiver, the first rounder, who's really great, he's the odds to make the offensive player rookie of the year. That's all they got outside of him. You really don't have nothing. If you look at the numbers, it's the running backs and him, but he throws nobody but that wide receiver. So maybe Croker could get some more work into the tight end, will be out. They're 8-5 against the spread as underdogs this season, so that's really good to see. They haven't lost consecutive games since week 1 and week 2. As I said, they win one, lose one, win one, but you have to go all the way back to week 1 and week 2 for them to show that they lost 2 in a row. So it's pretty tough there. But what gets me is this: when we'll get to Tampa Bay here now, when they play in Tampa, they're 0-6 straight up in the last 6 games when they go to Tampa Bay, and they're 1-5 against the spread at Tampa as well. So for some reason, when they go play at Tampa, it's like they go downhill. So keep that in mind. And I said, keep that in mind. And what you got to know, you don't know what you're gonna get from Bryce Young. And as I said, Tampa Bay, we're talking about the battle of like teams that are the bums. The Buccaneers have fallen off a cliff like nobody's business. I think out of them and the Colts, at one point, both the Colts and Buccaneers were 6-2. They've gone 1-7 in the last 8 games. And just like the Colts, injuries happen. But like I think, as we said weeks before, Baker Mayfield, it looks like when they report how he was hurt, I think they were like keeping it, like not telling the truth, because one, he's been terrible. He's thrown interceptions in the last 6 or 7 games, so he's throwing picks like crazy. The whole team is not meshing well. Ibuka, for some reason, they weren't using him again after he like really stand out when Mike Evans and Godwin were hurt. They put him back in the back burner when Godwin and Mike Evans came back. When Ibuka gave him more spark, he's faster than Godwin, so I don't know why they're not putting him out there more. They kind of did in the Miami game, but as they lost the Miami game, a terrible upset to the rookie, playing against a rookie quarterback. So don't get me started there. We'll remind you guys there. So they have a lot of things to answer to. They're beat up. Their defense is god awful. Since like week 10, they were top 3 in defense in EPA allowed, and EPA allowed pure handoffs. This is the rush defense and opponents' success rate, pure run. They fall into 21st, and they fall into 15th. So they've went to top 3 in those 2 EPA routes to 21st and 50th. So since then, they've been dropped. They dropped like a stone in the second half. And they're beat up. They're just beat up everywhere. The whole offensive line is still beat up. The guard, the 3 of their offensive linemen are still in injury reserve. Their best defensive tackle, he's out. Their best cornerback, Dean, he is out for this game. So they're still all beat up. They're 2-7 against the spread as favorites. And I just told you how the Panthers are 8-5 against the spread as underdogs, but the Panthers are not really good. They don't really play well against in Tampa. So what I'm trying to get to is, man, what can you do in this game? And it's like, I give you statistics how the Panthers are Dr. Jekyll and Hyde, but they still can't win in Tampa. But then you got Tampa, who's 2-7 against the spread as favorites. You can't trust them. The whole team's beat up. And they fallen like a cliff since the second half. So it's very hard to predict. I don't like what I see from Tampa. They have all that off at the talent. So I guess it comes down to this, and we'll do our predictions here. Do you think Baker, with the playoff experience, can, in that offense, they still have all the weapons, said that offensive line, the offensive line's still beat up. Can they do enough to win this game and get a little help from the Saints? Because they do need that. Do you think they could do it at home against a Panthers team that history would tell you this season they should win this game because of their back and forth? What do you think, man?
I'm going with the Panthers. I don't trust Baker, and I don't like what's going on in Tampa Bay. They've just fallen apart, like you said. I think the Panthers have a little more grit, and hopefully they can get that running game going, which tends to be more of like, playoff style football if they can put it together.
Yeah, a lot the spread money is on the Buccaneers to win. The public is on it, but I got to take the 3 points to the Panthers. I think it's gonna be a tight game like last week. Baker is not accurate. There's something up with this whole offense, and in particular, it goes to the offensive line. The guys running around with his light off, but also this Buccaneers defense is Swiss cheese, and they have been good against the run since week 10, and that's the Panthers' bread and butter. Now I know history says they can't win in Tampa Bay, and maybe they still win. And me and Adam have the cover here, but I can't pay any money on the Buccaneers. They are flushing down the toilet. They're, like I said, they've won one game in the last 8 weeks. Okay, they're flushing down the toilet. I think the Panthers got pit enough and win this game, and give me the Panthers with Adam plus the 3 points. So it's gonna be a good game. They're two not the best teams in the NFL, but somebody's got to win, and Panthers win, they get to the playoffs. So let's get to another good game, probably game of the week. If you ask me, it's another to be on Saturday night. Whoever wins this game gets the first seed in the NFC. We have Seattle Seahawks versus the 49ers, the surprising 49ers. The Seahawks are favored by 1.5. It's been going back and forth, and the over-under is 47.5. The Seahawks are coming off like we just told you, they came off a win against the Panthers. A little shaky there. They were a little worried in the first half, but they prevailed. Their defense stepped up as it has been doing all year, and they stopped the Panthers and they win the game. They're 11-5 against the spread for the season, and they're 7-1 against the spread on the road. And we all know the Seahawks play way better on the road than they play at home for some reason. So they have a good record against the spread when it comes on the road. But they're 1-4 in their last 5 times versus the 49ers. So the 49ers have their number, and I just don't get that either, because we'll get to the 49ers. I'm still not a bit of a believer in them. But if you look at everything as whole, they're number 2 in scoring offense. They're number 2 scoring in points allowed. So they're pitting up a lot of points, and they're not allowing any points. And they're number 1 rush defense. And I believe they're top 15, top 12 in pass defense. They're definitely top 12 in pass defense. And their rushing game, their rushing offense is top 15 as well. So they put up a lot of points. And like I said, they don't allow teams to score a lot of points. But when it comes to me, we know Seattle's defense is lights out. We know it's great. They're healthy. They're healthier than the 49ers, that's for sure. But it comes down to Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, since the second week of I believe week 10 or the second half of the season, where they count that, he's done since week 10. He threw 15 touchdowns and I believe like 4 or 5 interceptions since week 10. As the games get tougher and the playoff season's coming, he's got 9 touchdowns for 9 interceptions. Good old Sam Darnold's poking his head out like he did with the Minnesota Vikings. He's playing terrible in the second half, he's played okay, average to below average in the second half than he did in the first half. So there's the same thing he did with the Vikings as me and Adam did before. Vikings were like 14-3 or 13-4, and then everybody knew when the playoffs is going to fall off a cliff. And what happened? They lost the first game this season. And like last year, Seahawks had a good defense. The Vikings had a good defense and still didn't save them. I don't know, Adam. The thing is, can Sam Darnold, do you believe he could put something together? Can he keep it together more than he did with the Vikings? And do you think the Seattle has more complete team to carry him to win this the division, to win the first seed, and get to the playoffs and maybe do something?
Yeah, I think they're a more complete team, and they're built differently too, where they have a great defense, but they also have a really good running game. I know he has put up points, but they don't have to rely on him as much. Like you said, he has had that even split on touchdowns and interceptions, and the worrying thing is a lot of those interceptions come in like one game. He'll just have a blow-up game where he has like 4 or 5, and they've even won games in those situations. But whether it's matchup dependent or him just having a bad game, the blow-up games seem like they're getting bigger. So that is the biggest worry.
It is the biggest worry, and I'm liking to use Rashid Shaheed a little bit more, and I'm glad they're using him a bit more. He is questionable going to this game. Keep an eye on that. We all know JSN is a home run hitter, and we get that. But I definitely want to see them mix in a little bit more and Rashid Shaheed's been pretty good for them. He's been doing on special teams as well. So they need him to be healthy, and they need him for this game, and hopefully he can play for this game. But now let's talk about the 49ers. I know I just said I don't trust them, and I'll get there why I don't really still trust them, even though they have an outstanding record. They're coming off a win against the Bears. Good win. They're on a 6-game winning streak. Offense is firing on all cylinders. Brock Purdy's playing out of his mind. I think he had 5 touchdowns, 3 passing, 2 against the Bears in that game. So he is killing it. Since Purdy has been back, they are winning games by an average of 14.3. So they are blowing teams out, and they are doing it. Now, I know what you're saying. Like, okay, the 49ers, my cat's about walking from my camera. There he is. But as with the 49ers, they've had the easiest schedule by far. And you're supposed to beat the teams well, we say this time, you're supposed to beat the teams that you're better than. So when they beat the Colts, the Titans, and the Browns, and the Panthers, and the Cardinals, okay, that's understandable. That's great, So I understand that, and there was a good win against the Bears. Beating the Bears was their most defiant win since God. I'm looking at the scheduling since probably when they beat the Seahawks in the first week of the NFL. So and that was a long time ago. So keep that in mind, people. They played the Seahawks in the first week, and that was a different team. The 49ers were a different team. They were healthy, so keep that in mind. So they were really healthy. So they beat the Seahawks week 1, and I'd say the next big game they won was the Rams. Good win for that. And then in a long to the end of the season, they beat the Bears. So there's that. And I don't know, Adam, what do you think? Do you like the 49ers? Do you believe in the 49ers? Because their defense is beat up. Their passing defense is god awful. It's like it's 28th ranked, I believe, and their rush defense is better. I know they might get some players back healthy for the playoffs, but this is not the playoffs. And this is a different Seahawks team, different 49ers team than was in week 1. So what do you think? And do you just believe in this 49ers team?
I believe in them to an extent. I mean, Brock Purdy looked amazing against the Bears last week, but their defense has not played well. Like you said, they haven't had those matchups. So I'm really looking forward to this game. I think it's a great test for them to see like how good that offense actually is, and if that defense can hang on against a good team. But yeah, Brock Purdy has been legit. I thought he absolutely just diced the Bears and played a pretty perfect game. So you got to like it if your team can put up like 30 plus points every week. So they always have a shot, especially with the coaching.
Yeah, the last 3 games they played 37, 48, 42. So they've been rolling. But like I said, it comes down to their defense. Can their defense help? Because the last 30 games they've had to score. The Titans put up 24. The Colts with Philip Rivers put 27, and that Bears game was just a back and forth game. Like nobody had any defense. Over 70 points was scored in that game. So 80 points. So it's like, it's their defense. Can their defense hold up? So with all that being said, I also want to say the 49ers have entered the game as underdogs 4 times this season, and they only won once. So they are not really good in the underdog role so far this season. Also, I want to keep in mind, not always for this, because as we get into this, pay attention to all the injury reports, people, because a lot of people want to rest players because if they're hurt already, they want to rest them for the playoffs, or they're just resting them because they know the season's over. But keep an eye out because Kittle is questionable. I think they won't play Kittle, and Williams is their left tackle. He's questionable, and I don't think he's going to play either because they need those guys for the playoffs. The funny thing is, whoever loses the game, I believe they go to the 5th seed or the 6th seed. So it's a big drop off. So this is another tough one, Adam. I'll take this one first since you did that one. I'm taking the Seahawks to cover the 1.5. I think this is a different team than they played for week 1, the Seattle, the first matchup. And I think the Seattle's defense could give Purdy more fits. This is the hardest defense he's going to play since week 1. It is. As I said before, they beat the Rams, but I've been on telling you guys the Rams defense is not that good as it seems. I've been telling you guys that, and now it's coming to fruition. I'm taking the Seahawks. They're great on the road. They're 7-1. They cover spreads on the road all the time. I believe this is why they hired the head coach, Mike McDonald, for these games. And I believe that they could give Purdy trouble just enough. And give me the better kicker. If this comes down to a full field goal game, Myers is head and shoulders better than the 49ers kicker. So I'm taking the Seahawks strictly on the defense and honing in, stopping in Brock Purdy and all them. And Sam Darnold doing enough, not turning the ball over and keeping up with Purdy, and they can win the game. So give me the Seahawks.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm going with the Seahawks based on the defense and hopefully their running game keeping Purdy and the Niners offense off the field. But I don't know. I have not picked an over yet this year, and I think I might have to take the over on this one.
Yeah, I totally get that because I can't see the 49ers stopping anything. I think JSN, give me JSN anytime touchdown, give me over his whatever his receiving yards, which I'll check when that game starts. Because I think JSN is going to light them up. I don't think they double team him, I don't think that's going to work. So, great. So we both have the Seahawks to win and cover. I love that. Now let's go to the third biggest game. Well, not third, it's just a big game in general. This game is happening Sunday afternoon, I believe. We're doing the big games first here, folks. Ravens versus Steelers. Whoever wins this wins the AFC North. They go into the playoffs. Another team does not make the playoffs. The Baltimore is favored by 3.5, and the over/under I think is 43.5. I believe. Yes. Ravens, good win against your Packers. It was actually a good win. I mean, I would like the Packers to win that game. I bet Aaron Rodgers was hoping his old team would help him out, but they didn't. Good win. They needed that win to survive, and they needed exactly what happened. The Browns beat the Steelers, so this is why they're now fighting for the title. Big news, Lamar Jackson is probable. He's probably going to play this game. He's a full participant in practice on Thursday, so he will play this game. How healthy is he? We'll see. I think if you got to make the playoffs, you got to put yourself out there. And you know what? If his ankle and knee are hurting, you got to bite the bullet, take whatever pain reliever you need. And the way they win this game is they rush the ball with him and Henry. We'll get to Henry in a second. But the thing about the Ravens is this. They're a one-trick pony this year. It's been Henry. Well, actually, Henry hasn't been that good either. We'll get to him. But Henry's the last 3 games have been really good. It looks like because he has 1,400 yards receiving. But before the last 3 games, he was like teetering on that 1,000. He was like there, but he had 3 back-to-back games. And he had a great game against the Packers that put him over the marker. But they can't really get the ball to anybody. Their best receiver is Zay Flowers, and that's hit or miss with him. Like, he is so hot and cold when they get the ball to him. Believe me, I know as a fantasy owner of Zay Flowers, he either gets it or he gets you 90 to 100 yards, or he gets you 15 yards. Okay, so their passing game is almost non-existent. I don't trust it. They're 6-10 against the spread, so they're terrible at covering spreads. Their 4th worst pass defensive rate in their defense is just bad secondary. And the only thing they can lean on, as I was, talking about, is Henry. Henry will take this team as far as they can go. If Henry has rushes over 100 yards, hell, I think they need more than 100 yards, around 125, 150. They could probably win this game. He's been killing it. He has run over 100 yards or more in the last 3 games, over 200 with the Packers. So 400 yards in the last 3 games. So as I told you guys, he needed that 400 yards to get over 1,000, and he did in the last 3 games. So Adam, Lamar Jackson's coming back. Good. They need him. They're going to use his legs. But there's nothing. The Ravens just a shell of themselves. I think Humphreys has beat up their best corner. They're bad against the pass defense. They cannot rush the quarterback at all. They just have no pass rush. So I think their offense is going to have to be their defense in this game. And I don't know. Do you trust a more beat up Lamar Jackson more than Huntley, or do you just think that they're just going to have to feed Henry the ball like they did against the Packers?
I don't think they can just feed Henry like they did against the Packers. After that first quarter in the Packer game, I texted our group chat that they were going to give Henry the ball 35 times, and they gave him the ball 36 times, career high, because the Packers D-line is just undersized, and they can't stop the run. So I don't know that was a good predictor. He has been running better, but I don't think he's going to be able to dominate the Steelers. But yeah, I don't know if I can trust Lamar Jackson either. I do think overall the Ravens in the last 3 or 4 weeks have played a lot better, especially their defense. So I like the trajectory that they're on and that they have been scrappy. But yeah, you don't know what you're going to get from Lamar this year.
Yeah. Also, I said this Sunday afternoon game. Sorry, it was Sunday night game. It's the last game on NBC for the regular season. So yeah, I totally get what you mean. I think that they're gonna have to do a little bit more than pound the rock with the Derrick Henry, because the Steelers defense, the one thing they got going for them is the rush defense. It's actually the top 12-ish, I believe. So they have that going for them. So they get Lamar Jackson has to do something with his legs, or either get the ball to his Andrews, try to get Zay Flowers involved in somehow, and they need to do that. Now let's talk about the Steelers. Coming off a loss to Cleveland, it's almost one of my best bets to take Cleveland plus all those points. I had no idea why that Cleveland was gained by Steelers were favored that much, because me and Ad have been saying it. I don't know if this, I can't stand this offense. By the way, whoever wins this team, by the way, whoever wins this division, they're one and done in the playoffs. I'm sorry, I don't see any of these teams going nowhere. But let's get to this game. All right, the Steelers, bad loss coming after Cleveland. They could have beat Cleveland, and then they could have just put it away. They could have won this division. There you go. No, they don't. They lose to Cleveland, and here's why. The offense looked god awful because guess what? Okay, dumbass fan. Got that guy looks like a troll, like nobody's business, rage baiting DK Metcalf. But DK Metcalf, you're a professional. I get it, but like I know you probably get crap. Players get crap from the fans all day, every day, especially in bad environments like the Philadelphia Eagles or other Cleveland Browns. It's a very hard stadium to play in. I get it. But now look what it has done. Without DK Metcalf, this looks like a little league offense. It looks like JV. They have nothing besides Gainwell and nothing outside Warren. Now Cleveland's defense is good. It's better than the Ravens. I get that. But it looked like there was nothing. They kept on throwing Calvin Austin, trying to get him to touchdown. There's nothing. He has no home run hitter. Aaron Rodgers, as he always had a home run hitter, folks. Don't get us twisted. At those days in Green Bay Packers, he always had a great wide receiver. He had Jordy Nelson and he had Devontae Adams. Okay, this guy had home run hitters. He doesn't have one right now. Okay, he has guys who hit bunts and singles. Okay, guys who can't even get past the home base. This is who he has right now. Okay, and I hate their plan, Adam. We've been talking about their offense, dink and dunking, flats, slants, 5 yards here, 4 yards here. I'm like, I can't stand it. I don't know how they even got to 8 wins because I can't stand this offense. So besides that, I mean, briefly, what do you think about the DK Metcalf thing? Do you think? I mean, come on. I think we both agree he was dumb to react like that. But foresight. Like, look where your team has at now. What do you think about that?
I don't know how these guys do this stuff. Like, there's 5 million cameras on you
Yeah.
where you're doing this. Like, you can't compose yourself. I know, like you said, that guy's like an unbelievable troll, that fan. But you have to have thicker skin. I'm sorry. And you can't put your hands on anybody, especially when the whole world's watching. It's just beyond stupid. And I'm not surprised that he's one of those guys. Like, that's why he's bounced around so much. I think he is a bit of an issue player.
He is.
But, man, it is definitely going to keep them out of the playoffs, I think. What a huge loss. Like, Rodgers and this offense need him so much.
Oh, yeah. Do what Nick Sirianni does. He'll fucking just swear at the fans in the stands. He's a crazy-ass coach. Do that. Flip him off. Who cares? Dude, you're making tens of $millions, DK Metcalf. That guy's making God knows what, $70,000 a year. And you're letting this guy get to you? It's like, think like that or something. But also, you clearly didn't think about your team because they looked, like I said, a JV football team with that offense, okay? Because that's all they got. They have no weapons outside Warren and Gainwell. And that's not even that great because their rushing is in the bottom 10 of the league. The rush offense, their passing offense is bottom 10 as well. So they don't get to they're 26 and they're 26 in the run and 22nd in the pass. So their offense isn't great. Okay. So besides that, stupid by the Steelers. But also TJ Watt might not play this game. He's questionable. So TJ Watt, DK Metcalf, your best weapon on the offense, your best weapon on the defense, both might be out this game. The one thing they do, good is their rush defense, I guess, but they're just like the Ravens. They're terrible against the pass. So as we said before. And Adam, they're going to have to do more than rush to get rushed to football. The Ravens, they need a pass on the Steelers because the Steelers' secondary is garbage. So this is what it comes to, Adam. Can Rodgers and this Pee-wee defense pit enough against the Ravens' garbage defense, or can Lamar Jackson and it's just who offense is going to step up basically against two defenses that are not good? Who do you think? Which offense do you think will step up? And who do you got?
I think the Ravens will. I like.
Before I give you that, maybe before I wrote this down. Make sure it might change your because I see where you're going. Same here, but maybe this will change your output. Mike Tomlin is in one-score games under an 8-point margin is 114 and 86. So 114 wins to 86 losses. is a 57 win rate when the majority of the league at that margin is at 50%. So he has a higher rate of winning those close one-score games. This is, a different time. He had Ben Rosenberger into it for probably a lot of those wins, I would just say, but I don't know if that does that, but there you go. But go ahead. If you
No, I mean, maybe this is Tomlin's farewell tour game or whatever, but I don't know that they can keep ringing that bell for like they have been in the last month or two.
No losing record.
Who cares? I mean, I the spread I'm seeing it's at 3.5. I wish it was at 2.5. I don't like the hook on that one in this close game. That could be a grind, but I do like how the Ravens have been playing recently, and the losses to the Steelers, their players, is just too much for me.
I agree with you. I when I look at this offense, it's like it's the ugliest thing put on TV. I mean, I'm sorry. Like I know there's the Titans out there and the Browns, but please, this is Aaron Rodgers, and I don't care that his touchdown ratio and interception ratio is that big. It's because he's dinking and dunking. It's hard to throw an interception when you're throwing 5 yards. Okay, people, I don't like it. I think Lamar Jackson, he's going to put it all out there. He's going to make it. It's going to help the run game probably a little bit more too, to second guess where he's going to go in the RPO. I think that's going to help just a bit. I think they win and cover this game by a bit, but and I know Steelers at home, they're good underdogs, but I'm sorry. I can't, without DK Metcalf, they looked god awful. So he was both the Ravens to cover the 3.5. Now let's go to a game that has some meaning. It has to relate to the Tampa Bay game. Let's talk about the Saints and Atlanta real quick. It does have some meaning because Atlanta's favored by 3.5 and the over-under is 44.5. It does have meaning because Atlanta can still win the division. It all depends if Buccaneers beat the Panthers. So if they do, man, great. The Atlanta has a lot to fight for. And it's a possibility the Buccaneers can beat the Panthers, as we said. So let's start the Saints. They look great. Tyler Shook looked like I think he's earned himself another year to try to be the starting quarterback for the New Orleans Saints, which is good because in 2 years from now, it's really going to be probably a better QB draft class if he doesn't pound that. But I think he deserved it. He's been killer the last 4 games. He's now surging there to surpass the wide receiver from the Panthers for the offensive rookie of the year. He's right there next to him. He's looked really great, guys. His completion rating is surprisingly, his completion rating is 67%. As a rookie, that is really good. That means you're not throwing 50-50 balls out there like Cam Ward, okay? You're throwing good. They might be dinking and dunking, but you're throwing balls out there, and you are, you're making it. You're not turning the ball over, but you're getting to your guy better than you're, throwing balls on the ground. He has 12, wait a minute, what I got here? Yeah, he has 9 touchdowns and 5 interceptions, and he also has 152 yards for 2 touchdowns. So not pretty. I think that's all right for a rookie, not bad. So Tyler Shook is gonna take him. It's all on his shoulders, and it's even more on his shoulders than anything because Chris Olave has been ruled out. He's been ruled out for this game. He had a blood clot found in his lungs. He's okay, but they are taking him out for this game, so he's not going to play, and that. It means a lot. Now, go look at Chris Olave, by the way. He has over 1,100 yards receiving. He looks great this year with Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shook. He's really provided something for the Saints. But without him, it goes downhill. It's DeJuan Johnson and David Veely. That's it. And Kamara is out this game. Neal is out this game. It's Estime and Hill at running back. So defenses you'd have to worry about Olave because he's a good starting 1A receiver in this league. Without him, it's now 3 and 4 wide receivers. Hell, maybe even just off. Veely's probably a 4th receiver kind of guy. And Johnson, who I like as a tight end. I've been preaching about him for all season. He's a really good tight end, and he's finally getting his flowers. And he's providing a lot of he's doing a really good tight end. Besides that, and that means a lot to me because this just came out when I wrote about this because I like the Saints in this, man. But with Chris Olave gone, there is nothing to throw to, man. So, like I said, Tyler Shook is going to have to do something. He's going to do everything. He's going to do Baker Mayfield, Josh Allen to survive this and it's going to have to be DeJuan Johnson's show. Maybe they could get something out of the running backs. But I think we both agree that I'll also mention it's the defense has been really great since week 10. Their defense ranks second in opponents EPA. So the defense has been they've been shutting teams out. They have been not letting teams score a lot of points since week 10. So the defense has stepped up, and the Saints always had a solid defense all year long. But Adam, Saints, man, I think Tyler Shook. I like what I saw, but I think the chickens are coming to roost now with and some things are coming up too on the injury report that I think the Saints are hey, we're doing good here, but let's get a better pick to help Tyler Shook as well.
Yeah, I think a lot of teams are doing that, like taking their stars, and if there's anything questionable, they're just going to sit them. I mean, you can only sit so many players, but they should try to preserve what they have, and they've already messed up their draft pick enough in the last 5 or 6 weeks. I mean, but like I said, you've seen really good things. Shook is looking good. I hope they run it back with him again next year and keep building the team. But yeah, without Olave, I think the Saints might take this week off a little bit.
Yeah, I their two starting defensive tackles did not practice. They're one of their better linebackers. Demario Davis has been there for a while, or has been playing in the league for a while. He's not playing as well. So I think they're like, hey, we have a good showing here, but let's pack it in. But I think Tyler Shook, if he does play, he probably wants to win this game. So keep that in mind. He probably wants to win this game. He wants to still show he could do it. So keep that in mind. Atlanta coming off a win versus the Rams. I mean, dude, in the Pick'em league that I'm in second place, fighting for first place. I was so good. I was so thinking about I had these big points on the Rams to win 13 points because, you got to pick points in Pick'em games. And I was just like, you know what? I wanted to switch to Atlanta. I really thought, because the Rams have had terrible showings now for the last few weeks. They're 2-3 in the last 5 games. I told you guys that their defense is nothing to write home about. You can expose them. Their defense wasn't getting after the quarterback. And if they can't get after the quarterback, they can't sack them. That secondary is Swiss cheese. And I was right to say that. So they're 2-3. What I'm trying to get to, Adam, is I wanted to pick Atlanta, but I didn't pull the trigger I didn't pull the trigger to pick them, and I stuck with the Rams. But I should just stuck with my gut feeling. But the Rams, okay, dude, I don't know. This is not how you want to look when you want to come into the playoffs. They're getting into the playoffs. They they're basically fighting for Atlanta's. They're fighting for first place. I was talking about the Rams there for a second. Sorry, I was getting confused. The Atlanta, they have something to fight for. They look good. They won 3 in a row. Now the opponents, Buccaneers and Cardinals, hey, nothing to write home about, especially the Buccaneers since they've been going downhill. But the Rams is really great. And Kirk Cousins, I'm not lying to you, okay? His numbers are similar to Michael Penix, but they are very similar. But Kirk Cousins, I think, has played a little less games than Penix, but his numbers are just the same. But he looks better than Michael Penix. He really does. I've told you guys that Michael Penix, I'm not a believer in him whatsoever. Maybe, and I'm not trying to down this guy's career, maybe he gets better as he progresses and he has more time in the NFL. I'm not seeing it. But Kirk Cousins, I think, has done better. He has a better rapport with Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts leads their team in receiving yards. Drake London has been hurt, but Kirk, he has stepped up. He has almost 900 yards receiving. Drake London is going to play this game as well. So, dude, I like what I'm seeing from them. I think Kirk Cousins is showing that if he does get cut or traded, nobody's going to want to take that contract. But I think he can. I think he's done a better job than Michael Penix. But besides all that, it's the Brian Robinson show. That guy has been lights out. I think he's close, not really close, but I think he needs a big game to break Chris Johnson's all-purpose yards in one season. He's over 2,000 as it is right now, so he needs just like 150 or 200 yards around that to break Chris Johnson's record. So that shows you that guy's a Swiss Army knife times 10. So it's the Brian Robinson show. And you saw what he did at the Rams. He they just ran at will, like Derrick Henry with the Packers, just at will against the Rams. So I think this is what we're going to get from him. You have to worry about the better passing attack with Kirk Cousins. And now you have to worry. And so the play action is at players. And so I like where the Falcons are going. A little too late in my opinion, and I still late because if they won that Jets game, if they won that Jets game, Jets won a game-winning field goal, they'd be in the driver's seat now to win the division. But they had a goose egg against the Jets, and I don't know. Besides, I'm just saying, a little too late for doing this because they need a little help from the Buccaneers. Man, The Falcons are 9-7 against the spread, man. There's some injury concerns. If you look at their injury report, there's a lot of guys on there. Drake London's on there. Michael Pitt is on there. They're starting defensive tackle. So a lot of their weapons are on there. So pay attention to that. But from what I'm reading, Pitts and London will play this game. I also want to mention, because I've been kind of been glazing the Falcons a little bit here. They're 0-4 against the spread when playing at least a 3-point favorite. So when they're favored by this close of a margin, they are not covering spreads and basically not winning, because when the spreads are that low, you're not winning games. So I'll take this one since you took the last one. It all changes for me. I like the Saints. I really did before Chris Olave was hurt. I was going to take the Saints to my Pick'em league. I was going to take them as a bet, because I think there was a good bet to them to beat the Falcons, because I thought the public would be riding the high of the Falcons because they beat the Rams. But when you take Chris Olave out of the picture, their home run hitter, the guy who goes down the middle, great route runner. I think that changes everything. He has now C and D receivers, Tyler Shook, and I think the Falcons could do enough with Brian Robinson and Kirk Cousins. They could win this game, and I think they win and cover.
Yeah, I do too. That Rams game last week was an impressive win from the Falcons, and I want to see them keep rolling with that. So, yeah, like I said, a little too late in the season, but they've been looking good.
Yeah. Great. And I would like to see, I want the Panthers to win and go in the playoffs, because I like the underdog story there, but I wouldn't mind seeing the Falcons come out of nowhere. And because a lot of people had them wrote off, to not do anything. So give us both the Falcons to cover winning this game. Now let's get to these games that they have some kind of meaning, some seeding, but they're not really much there. We're gonna just a little quicker, guys. Let's start first with the Colts versus the Houston Texans. Texans are favored by 10.5, and the over under 38.5. Now, the Colts, they're sitting out for Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers is done. I'm surprised because I thought they would. I guess there's nothing to fight for, and I guess it makes more sense to see what Leonard has, because Leonard is a younger guy. They drafted him, and they can see what does he have. Like, maybe there's something we could work with. So I guess that makes sense. But I thought they'd stick with Rivers because they have a fighting chance, but no, they're not. So the Rivers is sitting, and Leonard is the backup quarterback. He's nothing to really write home about. He has a completion rating of 54%. He has 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. So nothing really, like I said, there's nothing really there. And maybe he could progress a little bit more. The Colts are 2-5 on the road. They've lost 6 straight. They're 8-7 against the spread, so that's not terrible. And Sauce Gardner's probably out too. I don't know why they'd play him. He re-injured his calf, I believe. So there's there. Now, guys, they do have weapons. So I know it's not just Leonard going to throw the ball, but they have, Taylor. He's really great in the first half, and he's kind of slowed down a little bit because now, Cook has taken over as the guy with the most rushing yards. It was Leonard by a mile, but now he's slowed down a bit. So there's that. And they still have a great offensive line, so they can protect, but you're throwing Leonard into the fire here. From what I'm reading, Houston is going to play their starters. They might take the foot off the gas once, if they start winning by a blowout, or if they see the Jaguars are winning by a blowout. So they might do that. So that might ruin the cover. But you're throwing this guy into the fire. The number 1 defense in the NFL. These guys get after the quarterback. Their secondary is great. Everything they do in this defense is unbelievable. It's a Super Bowl defense, folks. So you're throwing Leonard there, and that's what it comes down to me. The Texans are rolling. They had a great win. I was on the right side of that one. I thought they beat the Chargers straight up. They win that game. They're on an 8-game winning streak, and they're 9-7 against the spread. As usual, it comes down to the Texans offense. Only thing you have to worry about. They have to get more consistency, especially from the run game, because they really have nothing. And I really think they should draft a running back in the upcoming draft or sign somebody in free agency. But that's neither there nor there. Adam, I'm taking the Texans easily on this one to cover the 10.5 points. I think you're throwing Leonard to the fire. I think the only way the Colts do cover is, like I said, they take the gas, they take the pedal off the gas, and they decide to sit guys in the second half or something because they realize either it's a blowout or they realize the Jaguars won already and they won the division. But I think they won't either because I think they're still fighting for a good seeding in the playoff seeding. So I'm taking the Texans.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's hard to bet some of these games not knowing what's going to happen. But the Texas defense is just too good, like you said. So I'm taking them as well.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I think the backups could. I think the Texans will. Well, in general, the backups are better than the Colts. I think the Colts are going to take guys off too because it's better. A draft pick is better at 8 and 9 than 9 and 8. So I think they'll do that. So now let's go to another game that like I said, there's something there, but they're New England. Miami's playing New England. New England, if they win and somehow the Broncos lose, they get the first seed. So there is that. I'm hearing conflicted reports that they're not going to play their starters or not. Let me get to the spread here. New England's favored by 10.5. The over under is 45.5. They still have a shot. I think that the head coach, what's his name from the New England Patriots, he's kind of old school kind of guy. I think he wants to play his guys, but I think at one point they might take the pedal off the gas, because if they see the Broncos are ahead of the Chargers, they might be like, okay, well, there's nothing we can do here. Let's not risk our starters. So they're coming off they're coming off a good win against the Jets. I mean, it's not a good one; it's a blowout win. The New Orleans Patriots. They still have a good time. They're still fighting for seeding as well. I think if they do win, automatically they get the second seed in the playoffs. So that's something to fight for, because you want people to come to New England. It's gonna be cold as hell during there, so that's better for you. So if they do win, they automatically get the second seed. Or if they do, I think the Jaguars have a shot at the second seed as well. I think Jaguars win because they beat the Patriots. They beat the Patriots. Whatever, folks. I'm thinking too much on this. Let's talk about the Miami Dolphins briefly. They are doing well. They're showing they got some fight. They've won 5 of the last 7 games. They came off a good win against Tampa Bay Buccaneers, pitting Buccaneers in a vice grip for their game they play on Saturday. The rookie quarterback, I'm not a believer in him. I mean, maybe he'll be better in more time. He hasn't looked bad, but he hasn't looked great either. So keep an eye on that. But they got A-Chain. They got Waddle. Waddle get a little beat up, so keep an eye on for that. I don't know if he plays this game. Also, Waller was pitted back on IR with a groin injury. A-Chain. Never mind. I'm looking right now. He will be a game time decision because he has a shoulder injury now. A-Chain. Waddle did not practice. He was limited with a rib injury. So, folks, before you bet this game, pay attention, because the Miami Dolphins looks like they might take some players off. Fitzpatrick didn't practice with a calf injury. Chop Robinson was limited on Thursday with a concussion. So there's a lot of guys who are not playing this game. So keep an eye on that. Adam, for me, Miami's going to the cold where they do not like to play. Looks like a lot of guys are going to be off. The New England, they know if they'd win this game, they get that second seed, and they need that second seed because they come and play in that cold weather. Easy one for me again. I still think there is some worry there at the run game. The Patriots have so much problems with their players now. Don't even get me started with the Diggs with him. He's a, in my opinion, a piece of crap. He has problems with every team he's been with, so he has problems out. And there's one of the defensive tackles or offensive lineman, I think it's D tackle. He's in legal battles too for domestic abuse or assault. So with all these guys, there's that distraction. So keep in mind there could be distraction with them. Will they play full time? Will they take the gas off? That's another one. But I think because the Miami Dolphins are taking players off too, they're coming to the cold. I think that the Patriots will win and cover, but I'm not confident in that cover.
Yeah, I think that's right. I agree. Especially without A-Chain, I think the Patriots could probably cover with plenty of backups in. I don't think they need May to cover 10 on that team without A-Chain.
Yeah, and if Ewers, the Ewers, hope I'm saying it right, if he doesn't have Waller and Water to throw to, it's basically nobody. Westbrook, I like him, but they don't use him enough. But so there's that. Give us the Patriots to cover the 10.5. Now let's go to another meaningless game. This game is actually meaningless, has nothing going on, so this will be a quick one. We have the Dallas Cowboys versus the Giants. The over-under is 49.5, and the Dallas Cowboys are favored by 3.5. Very surprised by that. Now, The Giants, they're 3-13. They're 2-5 at home. They beat the Raiders, but who hasn't beat the Raiders? The Raiders are the worst team in the league. But when it comes to this game, the writing's on the wall. What's his name wants to win and play. What's his name? Jackson Dart. He wants to, but there's rumors that they're thinking about sitting him because of his style of running and putting himself in danger. I think they should sit him. Let Winston let him fling it out there. It would actually be fun for the fans for him. Let him just like sling it, baby. So like I like that. But when you look at their injury report, Carter has a illness. Dexter Lawrence has an illness. Wandell Robinson, over 1,000 yards. Good. That's a good sleep because Robinson and now you have Robinson and Malik Neighbors. That's actually one good 2-punch to look forward in the future. He didn't practice because of his rib injury. So there's Theo Johnson also has an illness. Oh man, some illness just hit the Giants locker room. So that's what I'm getting, folks. I'm being a little, joking here. But if you look in their injury report, there's a crap ton of guys on it. What I'm trying to say is, I think they're like, okay, let's get the second or third pick in the NFL. Let's get the best defensive weapon or offensive weapon we can. Like I said, I think they need to sit Dar. Ton of guys are on the injury report. And let's briefly talk about the Cowboys. Looks like they're gonna play. I think. What's his name? Jerry Jones wants to get to 8-8. I think he wants to get to 8-8-1. I think he's like, hey, we're not that bad, people. Like you thought we're blah, blah, blah. We were blah, with all these injuries, blah, 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 blah. Their injury report is kind of the same. Javonte Williams, but Javonte Williams said he was going to play. But what I'm trying to get to is this. Dak Prescott's still going to play. CeeDee Lamb's still going to play. Pickens is going to play. Give me those guys over anything the Giants. I don't think I have to I've been taking the first picks on this, but I think we both would agree that I have no idea why 3.5, by the way. I got no clue why the 3.5. I think his number should be at 6.5, 7.5 because the Giants are putting the writing in the wall. Are like, hey, we got an illness in our building. We're not playing a lot of guys. And the ego of Jerry Jones, I think he wants to get to 8-8, and I think they win and cover this game easily.
The only X factor is Jameis Williams, man. He can Winston, sorry. He could get some water boys out there riled up to play this game. So if he starts slinging and he scores points, you just never know. He's got that extra spark. But yeah, I couldn't bet the Giants here. They want that pick, and they're gonna be sure that they'll get it.
Yeah, you're right. The Winston effect. He might jump in there and get the boys riled up, and they pull off
get the W, miracle. Eat the W.
Yeah, exactly. So keep an eye out for that. The Winston crazy mania. But give us the Dallas to cover in a game, like we said. Though we both think the Giants, they want that pick. Talk about teams fighting for a pick. I don't know who wants to win this game. To be honest with you, we have the Cleveland Browns versus the Bengals. Bengals favored by 7.5, and the over/under is 44.5 points. What are you gonna do? Cleveland Browns, they're fighting for nothing. I do have them. I think I need them to win this game because I did take the over on the team total wins. I gotta look back. On my sports book, but either I took over 3.5 wins or over 4.5 wins. So they're at 4 now. So either I won it already or I need them to win this game, and they can because the Bengals. They might want to fight. They might want to win and leave on a good note, or do you want to protect your quarterback? And I say that because Myles Garrett wants that record. He's gonna be foaming at the mouth like a dog on rabies to get that sack record. So I think he's gonna want to win this. So that's what it gets to. The Browns are kind of playing for pride. Sanders is gonna try to win this game because he wants to say hey, I want to be that guy next year. I think they should not. I think they should draft another quarterback or sign somebody. But I think there's the Browns, and hey, as we talk about all these games, these guys are fighting for incentives as well to win money. So keep that in mind. Guys are fighting for incentives. If they get past some certain mark, they get more money. So these rookies want to play good. But I think Myles Garrett is hungry. He's going to want to play this game tough. So when it comes to the Bengals, from what I'm reading, they're going to play Chase. They're going to play T. Higgins. I don't know. I think they're gonna play Joe Burrow. I don't think they should play Joe Burrow, but it looks like they are. Chase Brown is back from illness, so it looks like he's gonna play. So it looks like they're gonna play their starters on offense. I think that's what it comes down to, man. So I'll let you take this one. Cover 7. The Cleveland's coming off a good one against the Steelers. Cincinnati, I believe, is coming off a win as well against the Cardinals. They're on a 2-game winning streak. Do you think their offense with Higgins, Brown, Chase, do you think they could put up enough to cover against a good Cleveland defense?
Yeah, if they're playing at full strength with all those weapons, I think the Bengals can do it. I don't know why they're playing other guys, but if they're going to play, I'll go Bengals.
Yeah. And the Bengals defense has stepped up a bit too. I didn't mention that, but they have been playing better than usual, and I think they play better than usual. Sanders, I don't think he's that quarterback. Some of those they could have put up more points against the Steelers, but he threw some picks, some interceptions that were like, what are you doing it to? Your cross. It's like, so the guys, I know he's a rookie, but I have no faith in him. Give me the Joe Burrow and the more talented offense. There's not the Steelers offense. It's a totally different animal. So give me the Steelers, the Bengals to cover the 7.5. Wouldn't be surprised though. Maybe because maybe the Steelers defense eats the offensive lineup. But give us the Bengals. So let's talk about a game. Battle of the NFC North. Team that's, actually, I think I don't know why they do this to themselves, the Vikings, but we'll get to that. Vikings are favored by 7.5. When I wrote, now it's up to 8.5, but when I wrote this, 7.5 points, and the over/under is 35.5 points. As I said to you guys when we started this, the Green Bay Packers, they are sitting, even though Love passed his concussion protocol and Willis a little banged up, but they're sitting him. They're starting Thune. I think Thune does have some playing ability. I mean, he has some history of playing. He was on the Cardinals, I believe, last year, so he does have some experience. That's the word I'm looking for, experience. Sorry, I think he does have some experience, so keep that in mind. But it looks like the Packers are taking this game off. I'd be surprised if Josh Jacobs is playing. I'd be surprised if any of the wide receivers do the good. I mean, I don't know who's starting wide receiver for him. Maybe Melton, the guy who played corner. Maybe he gets the start. I think maybe probably Jacobs sits, and what's his name? Who's their backup running back for you guys?
Emmanuel Wilson.
Yeah, Wilson. He'll start. Not a bad guy, but it looks like it looks like Banks, Tom are probably going to take this game off as well. So I think what I'm trying to get to is I think the Packers are taking this game off, getting healthy. So there's that. I mean, I have no faith. I do like the back running for the Packers. Maybe Musgrave gets some time in, but Adam is anything you like from the Packers? Is there the backups that you say they could put up a fighting chance that they could cover this number?
No. The Vikings defense is solid. They're going to get after this quarterback. I've never seen him play. And without the help and support of some of these guys, I think it's going to be an ugly one.
Yeah, and their secondary is top number one. They're secondary, and it's not gonna help a guy who has been jumping around practice squads. But Packers just did this so they can have him in there. Vikings 4-game winning streak. Great win against the Vikings. Against the Lions, they put. We'll get to the Lions. Great win. So great win, 4-game winning streak. Like we said, great defense. I think JJ McCarthy's gonna play this game, so he's probable. So better than the freaking Bozemer guy. But keep an eye on the injury report because they might be taking a step back. Hawkinson did not practice on Thursday. Jones Sr. didn't practice on Thursday, and their starting tackle did not practice on Thursday as well on Wednesday. So keep an eye on that. But looks like Jefferson, Addison, Mason, JJ McCarthy, and they go 9-8. It looks better than 8-8. I don't know why they do this. Like you have a crowd, you're not going anywhere. You should get a better pick. But give us the Vikings. The Vikings. You're gonna think?
Yeah, sorry, I said it a little too early, but yeah. Vikings.
Give the Vikings to cover the 7.5 in this game. I think the Packers, rightfully so, they're not going anywhere. They're the 7th seed, and they need to get more healthy. So give us that. The Minnesota to win and cover the game. So now let's get to a game that has meaning for the Jaguars, but not the Tennessee Titans. We have the Titans versus the Jaguars. Jaguars favored by 13 and a half. Over is 47 and a half. Another game you have to keep an eye on. Make sure the Jaguars win and they win the division. So they need to win this game to win division. So I think they will play their players. The Titans have been a little feisty, in the last previous two games. They beat the Chiefs. Chiefs were without any quarterback, but that was a good win. They fought the Saints pretty tough, and the Saints were on a heater. They fought the 49ers pretty tough. They put 24 points for the 49ers. They put 29. They beat the Browns. They put 31 on them. So they have been feisty. The Cam Ward has something to prove. The rookie Dike, he broke the all-purpose yards for a rookie in history. So he's looking good. Pollard, who has over 1,000 yards rushing, he needs 1,100 yards to get a bonus of $450,000 more. So he has something to play for. So what I'm saying, this is a big number. It's 13 and a half, okay? So the Titans are feisty. I think the Jaguars are going to play their guys. They're on a 7-game winning streak. I want to point out, though, that a lot of their offensive linemen are banged up. So that boy Jefferson for the Titans, he's a game changer. He'd be a number one in any team in the league. Any team in the league. The Eagles, the Seahawks, and the Texans. He could start for them. Okay, that boy. If he's healthy and he's playing this game, I want to make sure in real time. He's healthy. He's gonna play the game. So keep an eye out for him. He's a disruptor. So Adam, we know about the Jaguars. Look like one of the best teams in the league. Since I've been telling you guys, since they drafted Jacoby Myers, it's been a godsend for them. The sure hands of him. Etienne's playing great. Cohen has changed Trevor Lawrence around. He's a legit great offensive play caller. Do you think they do enough and cover this big number against the Titans team that's feisty in the last 4 weeks?
No, I don't. I think they either pull some guys at the end and kind of get a backdoor cover, or the Titans are just feisty enough to cover that big spread, especially with the O-line issues. Maybe they'll pull Trevor Lawrence. I don't know. And it's hard for them to thread a needle, though, where they just only want to win by a touchdown. So maybe they will blow them out, but I like this Titans team, and they could cover.
I'm with you. I thought you were going to take the Jaguars to cover. Hey, they're 2-5 in away. They've won more games playing away than they've done at home. So there's that as well. So, but I'm with you. I think this has all the writings of a backdoor cover. It really do. They have some weapons there. If Cam Ward could get them there, I think they could do some damage. And like I said, pay attention to Simmons. That guy could disrupt anything. So give us the Titans plus the 13.5 points. Now let's talk about the Cardinals versus the Rams. Rams have some seeding implications in this. I believe they can move up to the 5th seed. And have a better chance. I don't know, 6th seed, 5th seed. Does it really matter a little bit? I'm not entirely sure. Now we know about the Cardinals. They're a god awful mess, folks. They do have some weapons. Wilson and Marvin Harrison Jr. and McBride, who killed it for you this season. The guy broke the most reception record for a tight end. So they have weapons. Offensive line, defense, garbage times 10. Okay. But I think it says more about the Rams. They're 3-5 in the last 5 games. They let the Falcons put up 27. They let the Seahawks put up 34. They let the Lions put up 34 points on them. And they let the Panthers put 31. So in the last 4 of the last 5 games, they have let teams put 30 points plus on them. They're probably letting teams in the last 5 games average 30 more on them, okay? I can see that the Falcons only put up 27 against them, but still, their defense has been exposed. I don't care about Verse. Brian Young, if they can't get to the quarterback, this secondary is Swiss cheese. And Matthew Stafford, he is letting Drake May run away with this thing. Now, Matthew Stafford, in the last 2 games, multiple picks. He's still a great quarterback, top 5 quarterback in the league, top 10, whatever. I get that. Devontae Adams is probably not going to play this game. They shouldn't play him. Puka Nacua is probably going to play this game. But what I'm saying is, the Rams are going down the wrong path here. You're going down. The motivation is going low. You're swirling around the toilet. I know you have a good record, but it's not look good. Quentin Lake, you're good safety. is on the injury reserve. He was a full participant, but he's probably not going to play this game. They should not play this game because they need him in that back end for the playoffs. Okay, so if they get him, that's good. The other safety is questionable. Higbee probably not going to play him, but they're probably he's on the injury reserve as well. They're probably going to save him for the playoffs. But what I'm saying is, they've been exposed a little bit. There's a lot of guys who are questionable to play this game. I don't know if they take. I don't know if they're taking some guys off. Like Kyler Williams is questionable on Thursday. They're all questionable to play this game. Blake Curum, Kyler Williams. So pay attention to that. So Adam, do you think this Cardinals team could keep pace enough with the Rams defense that's been exposed, as I said before? Do you think they can do that? Do you think this is a good game for the Rams to bounce back, show them like, hey, we need this game to bounce back, but also could take the pedal off the metal, and because they're locked in the 6th seed for sure, but maybe the 5th seed doesn't really matter to them.
Yeah, these games are really hard for me to tell. I think the Rams have taken the
Marvin Harrison is ruled out, by the way. He was just ruled out, so he's not ruled out in this game. I just want to point that out.
Yeah, I'm still going to go the Rams. I think even with like Jimmy G could come in and win this game by a touchdown for them, depending on who else plays. But even like last week, it felt like Puka Nacua, they were sitting him a little bit, kind of on a pitch count or something. I don't know. I was just a little obsessed because I was winning the fantasy championship. But I still think they could do it, even if they're sitting guys.
Yeah, I'm with you. And the big thing for me is that the left tackle for the Arizona Cardinals, he's out. And that's been to pay dividends. And I think that's so. Give me the Rams to cover the number as well. I think the Rams want to end on a high note than they would before. So give us the Rams to cover in that game. Now another game that has some kind of thing to do with it, but the backups are in. We have the Chargers versus the Broncos. Broncos favored by 12.5 points, over under 37.5. Chargers are sitting their starters, some of the starters. More particular, Herbert is out. Trey Lance is the backup. I think you have to fear he has to do something with his legs. So there is that. I also want to point out that the Broncos, playing against a third string backup of the Chiefs, did not play well against that game. They did not play well. Maybe they took time. Maybe they took it off because they thought, hey, we're playing against a third stringer. But they won that game by a one touchdown. It was 12-13. But they needed that touchdown in the fourth quarter to pull away and win that game. Okay, so it wasn't like the Broncos were pulling away and they're like, oh man. No, so pay attention to that. Trey Lance can do something with his legs and do something about this. But when it comes to this game, the Chargers are looking to get healthy. They are beat up, especially Herbert with that hand injury. So I think the Broncos want to win this game. They want to get the first seed, get some time off, get a little healthier, get a break. And Amari Hampton is not going to. Did not practice on Thursday. But the thing is, the Chargers defense is feisty. They do. I think they're going to play. It looks like they're going to do a mixture of some starters and they're going to take like their key players out. So it looks like the Chargers are going to have some starters play, offense and defense. They're going to have some weapons. They're going to have not Quinn Johnson, but some McConkey out there. But I think eventually they're going to probably take them off, and the Broncos are going to probably win this game. But do you think they could cover the 12.5 points?
If they're taking people
Broncos
off,
offense, the Broncos
I
offense.
hate the Broncos. I hate this team. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think they can. I don't think they will.
You think the Chargers are going to plus the 12?
Yeah, I think the Chargers can cover this.
Yeah, I do too, because I don't think it's Harbor style. I think he'll keep it competitive, and I think the Broncos eventually will take the gas off the pedal, because all they have to see is that if they're gonna know, because everybody's watching these games. So I think they want to pit away. I think they're gonna win this game. Don't get me wrong, but I think they're gonna. How can you trust? I think Trey Lance is better than the third stringer, of the Chiefs. And their defense is just as good. So I think with his legs, he can keep it close enough. I think the Chargers plus the 12.5 is a good play here. So I'm with you, Adam. And let's just talk about the Chiefs. This is the Toilet Bowl game of the week, in my opinion, with the Chiefs versus the Vegas Raiders. Chiefs being favored by 5.5. I think that's a big number. And the over-under is 36.5. Chiefs on a third string quarterback. God, I can't even pronounce his name, and I'm not even going to try. So I'm sorry, folks. But what are the Chiefs? I think they lost the Broncos. They're on a 5-game losing streak. The proof is in the pudding. Some guys might want to play fighting for pride, but like same thing. Worthy has an illness. Hunt has an illness. They're starting. They shouldn't play any of their offensive tackles who are hurt. I think they'll be sitting the right tackle and left tackle and the right guard. So there a bunch of the offensive linemen are beat up in this game. A lot of guys have been put on the injury reserve. Like there's 2 starting corners. So, and also Rashid Rice is was put on the IR. So the writing's on the wall. They're taking it off. They're the 3rd-string quarterback. Kelsey's going to play for some pride. They still got that running back Smith and Pachenko. There's something there. I don't know. Rashid Rice has gone. Worthy's not playing this game. It's probably going to be like Marquise Brown and I don't know what else he got there. And the guy who's always on the Steelers who dances a lot, forget his name. He's a douchebag. But he's on there. You know what I'm talking about. He has a long name.
Juju?
I'm gonna look him. Yeah, Juju. Yeah, Juju.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be Juju, Marquise Brown, and Travis Kelce. Not bad. And the Raiders, worst team in the league. I think that what's his name probably wants to win a game because I think Pete Carroll's probably gone from this season. I would fire him. Like they're going nowhere. But Geno Smith, he is not going to play this game. So it's going to be Kenny Pickett or Aiden Connell's better than Kenny Pickett. I do not know why they play Kenny Pickett. Play McConnell, but McConnell probably has a better chance to win. Brock Bowers on the injury reserve. Crosby's on the injury reserve. Chin is on the injury reserve. And like I said, they're starting tackles of it. So, dude, this is the toilet bowl game of the week. Do you think Kenny Pickett and the mess that is the Raiders can do you think the plus 5.5 is good enough to keep with the Chiefs team that is also, but there's Travis Kelce and some players are playing. I mean, what do you think on this one?
I think everybody in the Raiders organization will get fired if they win this game. They do not want to win, and I think it's a good metaphor for how the season's been, where they just still put Ashton Genty out there with no support and even less players around. I'm like, one more time, Haas, let's go, bud. So
I'm with you. I think that the Chiefs, I believe, in Kansas City as well. I think that they win this game and they cover the 5.5 because the Raiders do not win. They want that 1st-round pick and get Mendoza at quarterback and so I think there's that. So it gives the Chiefs to win. Now let's go to Adam's second favorite team, which I'm going to pay attention to. I'm going to pay attention to a lot in this game. This game has a little more meaning. We would start this game a little sooner, but we'll be brief here. We got the Detroit Lions going to Chicago. Chicago being favored by 3 points and the over/under 50.5. Lions look terrible, folks. I have to say the Lions are probably the most disappointing, terrible team in all the NFL season. This is the most disappointing team in general. Like, when you have this offense, you shouldn't be this crappy. But it goes to show you that Ben Johnson, offense is still great, but Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn had a lot, motivation, a lot of for this team to do something. And losing the game is paid dividends. We know about this team. There's not much to say about the Lions, folks. There just isn't. They have a stellar offense. They have J-Mo. They got Marcy Brown with his dumb Trump shit. They have Gibbs and they have Montgomery. And they have weapons galore on offense. We don't talk about this, but it's Goff. It's damn Goff. To me, it's Goff. Goff, if you look at his thing, he is. He's a top 15 quarterback. But they lost. They lost to a Minnesota Vikings team. And what happened was because they rattled his cage. They hit him, and he shakes like a leaf. And they're on a 3-game losing streak. They lost 4 out of 5 games. Goff threw 2 interceptions in that game, and like I said, he was sacked 5 times. So that's what it comes to. The Vikings, the Lions have been just a shell of themselves, and they're playing the illness game too. Do you know that? Their 2 offensive guards have an illness. Their Stafey has a concussion. Their linebackers a concussion. St. Brown knee and ankle injury. He was limited on Thursday. So, and their other 2 the whole offensive line, goddamn, is injured. They're basically injured, and they have illnesses. Laporta is not coming back. McNeil, he didn't practice on Wednesday. So they're playing the injured game as well. So don't forget Joseph and Branch, they've been out for a while. Defense, they sucks. Secondary has got awful. We know this. But where do we get from the Bears? I think that's what matters most. The Bears, they need a win to secure the second seed. They lost to the 49ers. They can't get after the quarterback as well. They cannot sack the quarterback. Their secondary is ass as well as the Lions. Caleb Williams needs 270 yards to get to 4,000 yards for the first Bears quarterback to get to 4,000 yards. They're the only team yet who does not have a quarterback to throw over 4,000 yards. So, Adam, this is what it comes to. Who's going to score enough points to win this game? These defenses are not good. Do you think the Bears can put something together more than the Lions, or do you think the Lions can repeat what they did? Can you repeat what they did in the first time and drop a 50 burger on the Bears? Good game, I think. The number is 50.5. What do you like in this game, man?
The Bears have more to play for. And Caleb Williams did probably have his best week last week against that bad Niners defense. So I think the Bears can keep rolling. I don't think they want to take their foot off the gas at all going into the playoffs. So I think they'll roll on this one and cover.
Yeah, it's tough for me because I wanted the Bears to lose. I am only taking the Lions because Goff gets rattled when he gets hit. And even though the offensive line's beat up, the Bears can't get after the quarterback. They can't, okay? They're like the Lions. They can't go for him. And if you're telling me who I have to depend on, who's going to on a high-scoring offense, I'm going to take the Lions. The Lions are going down the crapper, but I think they have a lot of pride. What's his name? What's the Campbell, the head coach? I think he going to try to rally the troops to win this game to end on a high. Have a winning record going into the season, 9-8, and I think they want to. They know they could damage the Bears and pit something to them, so I'm going to take them plus the points. So give me the Lions and give Adam his second favorite team, the Bears. And with that, let's talk about my Philadelphia Eagles. Commanders versus the Eagles. Eagles favored by 4.5, over under 30.5. Commanders are on a 2-game losing streak. They're on a third-string quarterback. They're not going to play Mariota. I think they want to lose this game to get a pick. If you look at their injury report, they're playing the injured illness game as well. The O-line is all beat up. They still have weapons. It looks like Scary Terry is going to play this game. It looks like Deebo Samuel is going to play this game. He's on a 1-year deal, so Deebo Samuel is probably going to want to show something. He's going to want to I'm still that guy. I want to play. He's fighting for a contract. But Tunsil is out this game. Their starting guard is out. Their starting center is put in injury reserve. Now, there's that, okay? But they still have weapons in Debo and Scary Terry. Don't forget Zach Ertz has been out for a while too. And they have Rodriguez and the rookie running back. So not a bad running back combo. Secondary's beat up. Their defense is beat up. It's awful. You could pass on them like nobody's business. Now, the Eagles have come out and said that they are resting key players, pretty much a lot of their players. But as a diehard Eagles fan, I like their backups more than anything I like from the Washington Commanders defense. Now I like the weapons better than I like the Eagles weapons, but Tank Bigsby will be playing a lot of this game. Tank Bigsby is a good running back, one of the probably better running backs in this game, and they have Will Shipley playing, and they probably have AJ Dillon. All three of those guys with a lot of experience. Okay, also. Jahan Dotson will probably be the starting wide receiver. That's not a bad starting wide receiver. And we have Cooper. Now, people who don't watch the Philadelphia Eagles, Cooper is this guy who's undrafted, but he made it all the way to the Eagles. Love him so much that they plan to keep him for future years. Watch out for him because I think he's going to be a future for the Eagles. I think he's going to take the number 3 spot from Dotson next year. So pay attention to Cooper. He's an actual good wide receiver. Backup tight end, Gatakar is going to be playing. Probably out backup offensive lineman as well in this game. But what comes down to me is Tanner McKee, the backup quarterback for the Eagles, is one of the better backups in all of football who will get a starting job in next year, 2 years when his contract, because I think Howie Roseman will trade him next year and get a pick for him. He will be a starting quarterback next year. You heard it from here because that's how good of a backup quarterback is, and he's going to light up this bad secondary that is the Raiders. I still like the solid defense. Jeremiah Trotter is going to be the other starting running back junior, and Jahad Campbell, he is going to play this game, the backup first-round linebacker. He's going to be Brian Young. I'm getting too much in the weeds here. I like our backups more than a lot of the Commanders' backups, and their backups have been playing a while for the Commanders because of how beat up they are. But when it comes down to me, Tanner McKee, the backup quarterback, is better than the third-string quarterback of the Commanders by a mile. So I'm going to take the Philly to cover the 4.5.
Yeah, no, I think you laid that out really nice. And it's only 4 points. I think that defense is still going to play great, and they'll cover.
Yeah. Commanders, I think they also want a top 3 pick too. Top 4 pick. They're the oldest team in the NFL. They need to get younger. They need to get faster. So why not lose the game, right? So last game, this will be easy one maybe not easy. We got the Jets versus the Bills. Bills being favored by 6.5 on the over under 37.5. We know about the Jets. They've been playing a bum quarterback out there for a long time now. God bless them. They're putting him out there because they want to see what they got from him, and he's doing his best. But they're on a 4-game losing streak. I want to get his name right real quick, even though we're not doing too much. Brady Cook. God bless him. He's doing his best out there. He's trying to win a spot. They put him out there to dry. So there it is. Now they're playing the game 2. The Jets, they're putting a lot of guys on the eye. They're out. Mason Taylor's out. They have no what's his name, the wide receiver. They had him for years. Breece Hall did not practice. So a lot of the starters, they're putting a lot of guys on the injury list. There it is. When it comes to this, the Bills, Adam, to cover the spread, I think we both know the Bills are going to win this game. Now, briefly, I think this number was at open at 12.5. Now it's 6.5 because the Bills decided they're going to sit their starters, more particular Josh Allen. Mitch Trubisky is going to be the starting cornerback. Ray Davis would be the starting running back. I like Ray Davis, so there's that. So Adam, what it comes down to is, do you think the Bills backups are better than the Jets backups? Because the Jets are probably going to see Breece Hall. I was worried about that. The Bills rushing defense is ass. But I was thinking that Breece Hall could do enough, but he's limited. They're probably not going to play him. Isaiah Davis, he said he's out. So do you think the Bills backups are going to be better than the Jets backups? And I also remind you, this is the last home game for the Bills in their 50-year, 60-year stadium. So last home game there. So that maybe paid dividends. So who do you like, man?
Yeah, I can't bet on any team that is looking at a top 5 pick. So that's just going to be what I'm sticking with and going with the Bills.
Yeah, I'm with you. The Bills have won 5 straight at home against the Jets. They own them when they're playing in the Bills Stadium. I think there's some pride there to leave on a good note on that. That stadium has been up there for years at Buffalo. So I think they win this. And Mitch Trubisky's not a bad backup. He uses his legs. Once he gets out on the run, he's good at passing the ball. So there's that. So guys, that's it. Week 18. That's all of our picks. Now let's get to our best bets. Just a reminder, I'm going to put our record down there against the spread for the whole season. We're still going to continue our records against the season into the playoffs. So we're going to keep on going. But now let's get to our best bets. I'll put them on the bottom here. Adam, there's 4 games I like. I don't know if you like 4. So I'll start first. All right.
I had 3, but go ahead. I'll find another one. Go ahead.
Okay. First, I like the Eagles to cover the 4.5 against the Commanders. I think the Eagles are going to be watching that game with the Bears and the Lions. I think that's going to be more competitive than the Eagles and Commanders game. I think that that's going to give them juice. Like, hey, we got to win this game. Even though we're backups, man, I think they could do it. Especially guys, watch Tanner McKee. I hate them. I even think I'm one of those guys that think that Tanner McKee should replace Jalen Hurts, but we'll see. So give me the Philadelphia Eagles to cover the 4.5. Give me the Texans to cover the 10.5. You're putting Leonard against the defense that are just feast on inexperienced rookie quarterbacks. I think they're going to put the hammer to him. I think it's going to be an easy dub for the Texans. I think they cover the 10.5. Give me the Cowboys to cover the 3.5 against the Giants. Don't know how this 3.5. Pickens is still going to play. Lamb's still going to play. And what's his name's going to play? Dak Prescott. That's enough for me for a Giants team that's going to be sitting a lot of players because they're sick. So give me the Cowboys to cover 3.5. And give me the over-under in the Lions and Bears game. I think the Bears defense, garbage. I think they're going to be one and done in the playoffs. I think the Lions, they got pride. Their defense is garbage too. So I think they're going to put a lot of points. And I think they're going to put it to the Bears. So I think a lot of points are going to be scored in Chicago. So give me the over the 50.5 in that game.
Nice. Yeah, those are some good ones. Yeah, so I have 4. I wanted to pick a couple of the really good games. So I want the Seahawks to cover. I think that's going to be a shootout. So I also want the over on that.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that's going to be a really fun game, but I think the Seahawks can handle it. And then the next one, I want the Ravens. I just really think the Steelers without DK and just how they've been playing the last couple weeks did not have the weapons to beat the Ravens right now, especially with Jackson coming back. And then finally, I'll go with you with the Texans covering that 10.5. That defense has not slowed down one bit, and they should be able to eat that quarterback up.
Yeah. Hey man, you could pick the Saturday games. It's gonna be a great Saturday, so it's gonna be awesome to watch those games. Playoff implications all around. But there it is, folks. Week 18 is in the books. The regular season is in the books. Now, I haven't put the record down here, but we both finished above 500 so far for the regular season, but we're going to keep this going in the playoffs. So, like I said, I'll have it down here in the record. Week 18 is the book, Adams. My team at the playoffs, your team at the playoffs. Our teams might play each other in the playoffs. Yep. We'll see. If the Bears lose and the Eagles win, we get the second seed and we'll be playing the Packers. The Packers coming to Philly. So that's pretty cool. We might meet up. Maybe we'll put something together. I don't know. With that, guys, it's been a crazy regular season. I think it's wide open for anybody to win the NFL, the Super Bowl this year. There's no one dominant team. So I think that's really cool to see. You never know what's going to happen. Anything left, buddy? Anything to say?
No, I'm excited. It's been a crazy 18 weeks, so I'm looking forward to the playoffs.
Yeah, it's flying by, and I hate to see NFL season ending, but hey, the playoffs are here. We got a lot of football still left for the playoffs. So with that, guys, like and subscribe. It goes a long way. It really does. Playoffs is coming back. We both went above 500 in against the spread. So guys, like and subscribe. It goes a long way. We will see you in the playoffs. We'll see you in the next one. So have a good one, guys.